to those that know the name from Birmingham to the rest of the world. And a big moment for Tommy Aldred as well, as he gets to captain against Premier League opposition tonight. Very experienced in the English League system, so he'll be relishing a moment like this too. Stay with us then. Kickoff is coming up next.
So you decided to start trading. Better use Plus 500.
What?
Because trading with Plus 500 is like getting into that exclusive party that you weren't even invited to. Plus having someone you can count on. Or trying bridge for the very first time. Plus knowing Grandma's on your team.
Hi, Grandma.
Or meeting aliens. Plus being able to communicate with them. He likes your shirt. Plus 500. It's trading with a plus.
Kraken and Cola and Kraken and Dry Premix. The taste you've been hunting for.
Sorry, I'm sorry. Sorry, I'm so sorry. Sorry.
Sorry about that, darling.
Unapologetically brilliant British TV. Exclusive new shows to classic favourites. All in one place. No contract, no ads, no bother.
What more do you want, Anne? Apology.
Start your free trial and escape to BritBox.
And what a great moment here for the young man coming out to toss the coin. Aston Yee, you can tell from the name on the back of his shirt. And yes, his family's from Birmingham, and his parents did name him after Aston Villa. And a big thank you to Mark Bosnich for giving us the inside word on that. And how's his coin flipping skills? Pretty good. Who's won the toss? I think Tommy Aldred may have got the nod there, so they're just negotiating who's going to attack which end in the first half. And good to see the pennants exchanged. There's Philippe Coutinho. What a treat to get to watch a player like him tonight. And everyone in Townsville will no doubt be talking about the night they got to go and see Coutinho in their own backyard. There's Stephen Gerrard. We heard from him with Max Burford pre-game. Certainly promising plenty of changes and the importance of fitness in a match like this. Let's see if anything raises his heart rate. And of course, the legendary Gary McAllister, his assistant, sitting alongside him. And there's Warren Moon in the Raw dugout, looking pretty relaxed at the moment. And Paul Jones, his goalkeeping coach, going to resume his seat there on the Brisbane Raw bench. So, getting ready for kickoff then in Townsville. The Winter Festival of Football continues. What will happen tonight when Aston Villa take on the Brisbane Raw? And just what can A-League men's opposition muster against the likes of John McGinn and Bertrand Traore as they go head-to-head here? Raw to take kickoff, attacking the left of your screens then. Let's get this one started. And as we get underway, it's an early ball from Jay O'Shea. And easily dealt with at the centre of defence. Taking over possession is Danzaki. How happy Raw fans will be to see him back in the lineup. And Villa are happy to consolidate possession. So Daniel McBreen, what can we expect in the opening exchanges?
Well, it'll be interesting to see Brisbane Raw really when they played against Leeds in their last match. The first 20 minutes they were really under pressure, sat very deep. And at one stage, you thought this could be anything, but they really started to find their feet, particularly in the second half. And I think they'll gain some confidence from that.
Traore is lurking here, and nearly a disaster coming in from the blind side. It was Danny Ings trying to trap his opponent in possession. Connor Chapman gets out of jail. It was nearly a head-scratcher right from the off. McGinn feeds it through the right. Matty Cash marauding forward and cleared out of the penalty area. Attempted a sidestep there from Danzaki, but he's dispossessed by Luca Dean. And so Villa consolidate the ball. McGinn switching flanks. Heard the shout over from the left. Dean is there, cuts it back. Now Coutinho plays it to Boubacar Kamara. Really quick ball movement, slick by Villa, but not looking to penetrate just yet. Raw sitting deep, absorbing. at least as best they can. Callum Chambers. Now Kamara. And he went for the shot, and it's held on to by Macklin Freak.
Well, it was a nice little run in behind there from Kamara. Just testing that Brisbane Roar back line.
Possession taken by Dean. Diego Carlos, the new signing from Sevilla, to Coutinho. And he's looking to start a move from deep here, Philippe Coutinho. Dean playing very advanced. Leon Bailey broke out to the left, the Jamaican forward. Drops the shoulder, Bailey's cross, and falls kindly to be cleared. Luke Ivanovic chasing shadows at the moment. Big night for him, of course, Ivanovic. As it is for any of these Raw players, if they can bag a goal and score. They would have seen the buzz and the hype around the trialist Joe Knowles for scoring against Leeds. They'll all be wondering, can that be me tonight? As we see the local hero, Louis Zabala, come across, and that'll be a settling first touch for him, given that Luca Dean is already roaming up and down his flank.
Well, the match has started pretty much how we would expect, with the Premier League team having most of the ball. I think we'll look to see Brisbane Roar. We'll look to sit in and then look to go on the counter with pace.
Cash, first time cross, hooks it right back outside the penalty area to the man who drove it to him to begin with, Coutinho, and then Kamara to Chambers. McGinn, loving that diagonal ball at the moment. Over to Dean. First time cross, bit of skullduggery in the area. Bertrand Traore, perhaps right to ask hello ref, but no interest whatsoever. And, well, Jack Hingett looks like he has been able to get away with that one.
Well, I think Jack Hingett just had a quick look across his shoulder, and just as he turned his head, Kamara looked to get across in front of him. A little body check there.
Distribution right up to the touchline, but kept in by Zabala, not to his team's advantage. Back pass, though, from Dean. Errant Ivanovic, can he take it and go? Is this Raw's chance to hit on a little counter here? And the touch is an errant one from Akbari. And now he's going to chase and see if he can win back the ball in an advanced position. Oh, he's come a cropper here. He's been shrugged off. The fans over on that side of the pitch didn't like what happened to him, but play continues. Now away goes Matty Cash. He's going to use that speed and endurance all game to try and give the Raw a torrid time. And then Traore was expecting him to continue his run.
Yeah, just a bit of miscommunication there. Cash coming, supporting Traore underneath.
Traore, the Burkina Faso international, made just the 9 first-team appearances for Villa last season, so perhaps understandable that he isn't quite as slick with his teammates as others would be, but it's also an opportunity for him to impress. Didn't score in those 9 league appearances either, the number 15 for Villa. Jay O'Shea is going to launch from deep and try to set the runners loose. Dean is first to backtrack and puts it out for what looks like a Villa throw.
It was a wonderful ball from Jay O'Shea, but I'd like to see him a little higher, receiving that ball higher up the field, a little bit closer to the forward line. Such a fantastic range of pass. I think he's just coming a little too deep at times to pick up that ball, which he has the range to play that long pass as we've seen there, but I think he can be more dangerous in a more forward position.
Coutinho to Dean. He's going to send the cross, shallow, Ings, knocks it straight back out from whence it came. And Dean, over the head of Lofthouse, finds Cash. McGinn does fancy a long shot, but he's guarded here. Chambers Launches it into the box, and Leon Bailey is caught behind as it's headed back for a corner by Zabala.
Well, Aston Villa not afraid to put the ball in the box early and test out this Brisbane Roar defence. To date, they've done well defending. Zabala there clearing away. No, taking no chances. Out for the corner.
Corner taken short. Villa going to concede a little bit of territory. Bailey lifts it into the box. Kamara went up. And Akbari trusting his judgment to see it out for a goal kick, and that gives us a chance to check in at pitch level with Max Burford.
Hello, gentlemen. Pleasure to be up here in sunny Townsville. The weather gods have been quite kind for us and quite kind for the players this evening. It's about 20 degrees, a slightly swirly breeze. The Villa fans, they're here in force behind the Brisbane goal. They've been set up here since, well, a little bit before kickoff, but they've been set up in the pub, I think, since about midday, and that's really shining through. They're putting the Brisbane Roar fans to shame with their chanting so far. As for the Brisbane boys, a quick one on them. We've talked a lot about Louis Zabala. They're calling him King Louis up here. The Townsville mayor called him King Louis yesterday in her press conference, and you can be sure that his teammates have really let him know that he is now King Louis, and they're not letting him get away with that.
Thank you, Max. And we'll keep checking in with Max as the night progresses. Lofthouse, the late inclusion to the starting 11. Now Kai Truan, couple of touches, has to concede a little bit of ground. Aldred. Now the Roar, a chance to enjoy a bit of possession. Hasn't been the case for the first 8 minutes, but now a bit of time to feel the ball. Hingett to Ivanovic, running down towards the corner, and he's trying to spin away from Chambers. Chambers trying to have him covered. Assistant referee says it's Roar's throw. Connor Chapman looking for a pass that he likes. Hingett. Chapman once again. Now Zabala. Villa not getting too interested in the press at the moment. They're happy to call it off just at the edge of the attacking third and let Roar have a bit of possession now in their defensive half. Let's see if Leon Bailey gets a bit more interested here. No, he'll back off too. Hingett. Now he's been given a bit of space to advance into. Lofthouse. And his first thought was always to send it backwards once again.
Well, it's certainly a patient build-up from Brisbane Roar, isn't it? Not too many passes going forward, though. As you mentioned, Taya, the press, for the first time now being released, is really setting a block Aston Villa, really asking Brisbane Roar to try and pull them apart.
Based on the first 7 or 8 minutes, do you think they were expecting to have this much of the ball even by the 10-minute mark as well? Might have caught them by surprise. They perhaps would have expected to be all hands on deck defending for much of the game.
Yeah, I think they would have taken a little bit of confidence, as I said, from that game against Leeds. I think they were complaining about the ball not being sufficiently pumped up.
Yeah, so there's our fourth official, Adam Kersey. Matty Cash and Kurt Ams getting into a discussion about how inflated the ball was. There it is. Oh, looks spherical from here.
Just like the fact that he just picked the ball up and said, well, I'll just throw it off. And Kurt Ham said, well, that's a free kick. I wonder if Brisbane Roar will give the ball back.
So now they're putting in the call to the ball kids. Who's got a pump? Who can help us out here? Replacement ball. Raw give possession back. Everyone's happy for now.
Yeah, as I was saying, Tao, I think that Brisbane Roar would have taken a lot of, I guess, confidence from the Leeds match. You said the first 20 minutes they were really under a lot of pressure and couldn't get out of their own, almost out of their own box. And slowly but surely they drew themselves back into the game, and particularly in the second half, held their own.
Dean. Now Kamara. Cash. And Diego Carlos sends it out to Dean. Lots of numbers advancing forward. Bailey makes the run. Shouts of Bouba to Boubacar Kamara, another of the new Villa signings, having arrived from Marseille, where he spent 6 seasons. Coutinho. Raw sitting very deep, numbers behind the ball. It's going to take a bit of creativity to unlock them. Dean and Bailey, a 1-2, but a loose touch. And then Dean has gone and followed through here right at the edge of the box. He's taken out Tommy Aldred as a result. And he's quick to leave the scene.
You can see Tom Aldred's not too happy with that. Just left that foot in. See there, it comes right down on the ankle. That is a tough one. That is a nasty one. He'll be feeling that one tomorrow. You see there, it comes down really with force as well. We've seen plenty of hard tackles across this winter festival of football. And that's another one to add to the list.
So, yellow card for Luca Dean. No VAR in these pre-season friendlies. I think he gave himself away by running off quite simply. I think he knew he'd done the wrong thing.
Well, it definitely warranted a yellow card. And I think if this was a competition match, I think he would have been skating the line of a red there. That was a really nasty challenge.
Well, if he doesn't know who Tommy Aldred is, he might find out the next time those two are in the vicinity of each other.
You can see there, Tom Aldred's foot is obviously cut the skin.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Dear, oh dear. Apologies if any of you are squeamish at home. That's really bad. You say it's on the borderline of a red. Well, it's drawn blood. I imagine that's an indentation from the studs of Luca Dean. Oh dear.
That looks like it could be a few stitches in that one.
So, well, will Raw sub him out, or will they patch him up and tell him get back out there? That's the call that they've got to make, because it could take a while to administer the treatment. Max Burford will be all over that for us. In the meantime, it's 10 versus 11, and Coutinho is seizing the opportunity. Leon Bailey down the left, in at the near post, parried, and now McGinn sends it high, and 5 rows back.
That was great play down the left-hand side from Aston Villa there. And McGinn not too pleased with his final effort, but as they break down the left here, it was Traore who made a great run across that near post. It was Jack Hingett who did enough to get across between himself and Macklin Freak. Able to get the ball away. Follow-up shot. Not going quite where he wanted.
And McGinn can be lethal on that left peg. Miller with, as you can see there, just the 2 shots so far. Maybe trying to turn the temperature up on Raw once again here. Ings trying to judge the bounce as it spins around. Cash. Sold his man into a 50-50 here, Kamara, but then Ivanovic, well, he didn't disguise his grab of the shirt whatsoever, and perhaps knew he wouldn't be allowed to escape with the ball. Free kick taken. Dean to Bailey. Cries of offside not heeded. Zabala defended against the cutback. Pass into open space. Oh, the referee's laid a perfect screen there and the Raw might be away. Here goes Lofthouse. This would be contentious. Jez Lofthouse cuts in, goes for glory and bends it just wide.
Well, that's exactly what we expected from Brisbane Roar. Break quickly. Jez Lofthouse showed there's the referee getting in the way, performing a screening block on Aston Villa player. And then Lofthouse, she had a nice pair of heels there, takes the ball inside after a little shimmy. You can see he was trying to bend it in that far top corner and wasn't too far away.
Well, if Kurt Hams plays pick-up basketball, I think we just saw his high post move there. That was quite the body check that he had provided there. And hey, Raw didn't mind. Away they went. Cash. Crossfield ball back on the turf. Coutinho. Bit of a slip at the key moment from Bailey, and that allows Akbari in. Danzaki. Truan caught in two minds about what to do, but he heard the shout, and there is a patched up Tommy Aldred back on. No need for stitches. They just strapped the ankle, and he did not want to miss the chance to get back out there. So the full complement is restored. Imagine he's going to have quite the scene to have the trainers repair at half-time then in a more thorough manner. Now the whistle's gone, coming back from an offside position. Here's the call here against Ivanovic. It's Ashley Beecham over on the outer side. Chambers. Cash. Now McGinn to Traore. Struggling to keep possession of the ball under a couple of challenges, and he ultimately bundles it out, and the Raw will gratefully accept possession. Connor Chapman uses his left foot to clear. Shallow though. Kamara's header. McGinn takes over. Straight back to Chapman. Traore challenging. Will they be able to find the back of the net though? That is the burning question. And there is Buendia. And then it's Cameron Archer. Tyrone Mings, one of the big names in this Villa team. Douglas Luiz has come on as well, the Brazilian. And so Villa will take kickoff here at the start of the second half. No goals in the first. What will we get unpacked here in the second? And Buendia kicks off the second half for Villa in Townsville. And immediately, it's Jacob Ramsey on the ball and giving a touch over to Douglas Luiz. Danny McBreen, just how long will it take the game to resettle then here in the second 45?
Well, hopefully it gets underway with a good pace, as we've been accustomed to in this pre-season festival of football. Lots of changes rung through both teams. So fresh legs out there and players wanting to prove a point and try and hold their position into the next game and into the future.
See there, Ollie Watkins, another of the players who has come on. Ramsey couldn't control the ball there. through all those subs. There's Riconsa you see coming on there. Jay O'Shea caught in possession. Watkins. Jacob Ramsey confirming his involvement in the game. Douglas Luiz. Ramsey. And now Buendia. Big deflection. And knocked away by Joe Knowles. Moving up the ball is Timo Ogbunam. This is Augustinson. So Villa just getting acquainted with the totally new look side for the second 45. As Riconsa playing the pass, which is knocked out to the right. Buendia trying to work in traffic and now spreads the ball. Archer the cross. And all the sting taken out of it, but Freak, he parried it. He almost presented a gift, but then he's able to recover and grab it at the second time of asking.
Well, that started with a nice little piece of movement and a turn from Buendia in that central area where we were talking about Coutinho not getting that many touches in the first half. It was only a yard or so of space, but he positioned himself well. It was positive, got that ball out wide.
Ollie Watkins, wonder how closely he watched the first half as he got the long stops in. He took a big slide there going to ground. This is Kane Kessler-Hayden, number 29 on the ball. And the surface giving way did happen at a couple of key moments, only for attacking teams though in that first half. It's not like a defender completely fell out of the way to open the game up. Bit of fortune. Tyrone Mings. Buendia. Jesse Daly. Cynical grab of the shirt. Referee gives advantage. And now through the right side, it's a better chance here for Villa. The shot is knocked away. The follow-up from Archer. And it's across the face with the aid of a deflection. Hingert was crucial. Behind it goes for a corner.
Well, it's Buendia again, isn't it? He opened up the play. It's the original turn and ball in behind. And then it was some desperate defending for Brisbane Roar.
Douglas Luiz to take the corner kick. And he takes it short. Buendia slides it back to his Brazilian teammate. He's looking for Ogbunam at the edge of the box, but it's knocked away from him. Jacob Ramsey. Play stops to a standstill just for a moment. Watkins. And Villa happy to concede some ground, seeing it packed. Brisbane defensive third at the moment. Ramsey. Buendia, a quick 1-2. Attempting some neat link-up play here. They're bouncing the ball off the Argentine at the moment. Archer goes back to Eric Binham. And now drifted in by Douglas Luiz and Macklin Freak. Well, it's a hard landing for him, but he was sure-handed as he grabbed the ball.
He's been very confident tonight, Macklin Freak. Coming in claiming anything that's got a little bit too much air on it.
Now cleared by Connor Chapman. Daly. O'Shea. missed return pass there from Kai Truan. Gustafson, very experienced. Taking the throw quickly. Ramsey. Douglas Luiz. Diagonal ball as a teaser. Both players go slip sliding and then bounce back to their feet. The cutback steered away. That was dangerous from Kessler Hayden there. And he's able to win a corner for his team. Ollie Watkins had a great season. 11 Premier League goals last campaign, including against Tottenham and Man City, but he wasn't on the end of this cutback here.
You see again losing the feet. It was a wonderful ball. Diagonal ball cross. Did well to get around his defender.
Tyrone Mings lurking at the back post here as the corner is hung high. Watkins back into the mixer. And now the shot. Eric Burnham blocked off the boot. And as it goes out for a throw, let's check in at the start of the second half with Max Burford.
Hello again, gentlemen. I wanted to talk about that surface. I'm down here looking at it right now. There are a few bits that get sort of chopped up, but the thing with the surface up here is it's got to be pretty hard because you never know when you're going to have 100 mil of rain the day before a game. So North Queensland NRL played here last Friday, so it's not like there's been too much action on it, but because it's so hard, a few blokes are struggling to get their studs into the ground and they're hitting the deck.
Did you change to the long stops at halftime as well, Max?
Yes, my Nike's down here. I've got the long stops on. I won't be falling over on camera. Don't you worry about that.
Good stuff. Thank you, Max Burford on the sideline. Here's Buendia. Into the box he goes. He was just, showing his ankles to the Raw players, saying, hey, anyone want a nibble? No one did. Out it goes.
Well, he's looked very positive since coming on at half-time. Every time he gets the ball, he wants to try to go forward. He's played a couple of key passes already.
Can I just say, there's been so many smiles every time we've cut to the Villa fans in the crowd tonight. They are having a ripping time, aren't they?
Yeah, they are enjoying themselves. Enjoying seeing some football in their area. And they're in good voice as well, aren't they?
Raw have yet to really mount an attack of purpose through 8.5 minutes. Let's see what they've got. I mentioned Augustinson there. 46 caps for the 28-year-old who's come in on loan. He's going to be playing at left back behind Luca Dean, who himself only joined in the mid-season winter window in the Premier League, coming over from Everton. Had a falling out with Rafa Benitez, got sold to Villa, and then Benitez got the chop himself. Speaking of managers, there is Stephen Gerrard. Bit of a pained expression on his face at the moment.
He didn't look too impressed, did he?
Douglas Luiz. A little bit loose at the moment, but no one's pressing from the Raw, so no one made to pay. Here is Mings again. 17 caps for England now for the centre-back. As he sends a long ball, and at the very last, Aldred had to be there. He was led to the ball by Archer. And in the end, his right boot made a very vital deflection.
Well, it was a good ball from Mings as well, wasn't it? It just curled away, and just for a fraction there, it looked as though Archer had the better of Aldred. He did just enough, the defender. Did well to win a goal kick as well.
He's a goal scorer, Cameron Archer. 7 in 20 at Preston North End in the Championship when he joined them in January last season, so certainly made an impact when he went out on loan, and if he's not part of Villa's first team plans this season, you imagine there'd be plenty of Championship teams who would be very eager to add him to a potential promotion push. Of course, the three promoted teams coming into the Premier League this season, Fulham and Bournemouth, they've both been there in recent times, but Nottingham Forest returning after 23 years as well. It's a tantalising league at both ends of the table, really. Villa will be certainly hoping to be a lot closer to the top of that table than anywhere near the relegation battle in the coming campaign. Question is, can they even put up a challenge to the Big Six? Could they break into a European place? Maybe a cup run. They were knocked out of both cups at the first time of asking last campaign. In domestic, that is. League Cup and FA Cup, which of course you can watch on Paramount Plus. So what's Warren Moon trying to get out of this situation at the moment? Because the clean sheet has been maintained, but they haven't shown us a great deal as far as attacking prowess in this second half so far, whatever the discussion may be at the moment.
Look, it's still early doors for Brisbane in their pre-season. To be able to play teams of this calibre so early in your pre-season is really good for the team.
It's worth remembering they're out of the Australia Cup as well, so they'll get one less competitive game at a minimum than all of their other A-League men's rivals due to being knocked out in the qualifying round by Wanderers.
Yeah, so he'll be looking to start to put down his plans on how he wants to play. Okay, it's going to be a little bit of a different scenario when you're playing Premier League teams to the quality of the opposition. So obviously not conceding is the first one, but they sit in, they like to be a nice deep block, make it really difficult for Aston Villa to go through the middle in particular and use their pace to counter.
Archer again. He's been the live wire since coming on. Augustinson getting forward. Archer once more. Buendia and Ramsey. Raw able to repel Villa initially. Now they probe through the right. Kessler Hayden plays it back. Douglas Luiz into the box. Esri Conser, the centre-back, was the man who made a run forward on that passage of play as well. And now a free kick out of the maul there. And Buendia, I suggested earlier in the half, he could be a magnet for fouls. And indeed, he's drawn one here from Jay O'Shea.
You can see the way he used his body there. Jay O'Shea just giving me a little tap from behind. Knee into the thigh. He's been very positive in the second half, Buendia.
Archer, neat pass, Buendia. Didn't think about a shot himself. Fed it out to the left flank, and Danzaki is back there guarding. Coughs up possession though. Erogbanam, and now Mings. The stops give way once again. This time it's Ramsey who goes slip sliding on the turf. O'Shea. And no one is herring after that long ball. Martinez becoming a virtual spectator once again, as was the case at times in the first half. Mings. Esri Konsa. Now Augustinson hangs a high ball, and it's neither a cross nor a shot. Really just a tame giveaway of possession in the end from the Swede.
Well, Brisbane have done a reasonable job frustrating Aston Villa, forcing them into the wide areas. Plenty bodies in that central area. They forced Aston Villa to be patient, move that ball around and look to probe down the sides.
Long ball this time from Douglas Luiz, but very much keepers to call for there. Now Neville, one of the half-time subs for the Raw, links up with Jesse Daly here, continues his run. This is better from Brisbane. And now Knowles. Down to the corner he goes, and he's able to win a corner. And so a little flash from Brisbane Raw is all it took to move the chains and get themselves an attacking set piece.
Well, his confidence will be up, won't it? After securing his goal against Leeds. Put in a good performance on trial. Joe Knowles.
Knowles, who played at Perth Glory between 2015 and 18 and has gone back to the NPL since then after attempts to make something happen overseas. Here's the corner then, high to the far post and over the head of Aldred. And the referee is saying we're going to have some subs, so just after the hour mark. And it's going to be Robin Olsen coming on. We heard Mark Bosnich talk about potential competition for Emiliano Martinez in the pre-game. I don't think he'd be too worried about holding on to those gloves, but he's certainly got a very experienced deputy here in the 60-cap, 32-year-old Swede, who joined on loan from Sheffield United and made just the one Premier League appearance last season, and now he's on a permanent deal with Villa, perhaps best known to Premier League fans for being one of the players targeted in post-match celebrations by Manchester City supporters after they came back from 2-0 down on the final day to beat Aston Villa. Martinez, he'll be hoping to be lifting the World Cup trophy in Qatar with Leo Messi in December. As we saw there, Raw have got an array of their own subs also to make the appearance just after the hour mark here. Mings chips the ball straight onto the head of Connor Chapman. O'Shea. Lofthouse making a run for him. Esri Concert comes across. Lofthouse, I think he showed too much respect to his opponent there. He just let Concert take possession. Yeah,
I thought the same. He looked like he had the front running to take the ball and just slowed up at the last minute. Maybe he thought Concert was going to come through with a heavy challenge.
And so now these Raw subs are ready to go. Jack Hingett and also Ricky Danzaki coming off. Anton Mlinaric is one of the players coming on, and also another of the trialists, Rio Matsumura, most recently at Police Tero in Thailand on loan from BG Pathum, who fans of the A-League men's will know played against Melbourne City in their Asian Champions League group. He's not over the line yet, Matsumura, so let's see what he can do in his showing here to try and win himself a contract. Augustinson. And it's met with a volley, not with any great force though from Douglas Luiz, and it's blocked away by Connor Chapman. There's Anton Mlinaric, who's just come on. The change. Henry Hoare has come on as well after a great season for the Raw. And the ball in here. Frank didn't know a huge amount about it. It was a reflex stop, and Archer was the one who tried to glance it on. Close.
Well, the Harvey Norman replay shows it's Buendia again. It's a lovely ball in. And Macklin Freak has to wait to see if there's a touch on that ball. See here, curling in towards the goal. He has to wait and stand strong. Reacts well in the end.
Ramsey through traffic. And Luxa Fortune lying on the ground, but in exactly the right spot to collapse onto the ball is Macklin Freak.
Oh, that sums up the night, doesn't it? Lots of half chances. Nothing real clear cut. Ball comes out. Just ricochets through all the bodies. And sat on his derriere, receives the ball gratefully in his arms.
Well, it gets the pinball high score, but it doesn't get a goal. And Villa, again, challenged, but not able to find the back of the net. Augustinson cuts it in. Archer turns away. Douglas Luiz. Consa. Douglas Luiz. And Augustinson once more. Lips in a ball. Glance to the top of the box. Buendia prods it on. And Connor Chapman sinks the slipper. He's able to drive it away. Mings slipped. And now Knowles could be away. It's Joe Knowles being pursued by Tyrone Mings. And I don't know if it's the heavy surface there, but it both looked like they were running in slow motion as they tried to advance on that occasion.
He was just too big and strong and quick there, Mings, wasn't he? Knowles was away. Ran him down.
Inside of the boot from Buendia. Cross comes Watkins, and it's kept away from him. Here we go. Charlie Aston. About to appear in a match for Raw for the first time. Right now, corner taken quickly. Edge of the box. The shot on the outside of the boot, and Ezri Konsa. Well, he shot that like a defender.
He tried to take it with the outside of the foot. Nice short worked corner. See here, it was a planned move, and he's tried to hit it with the outside of the right boot and bend it around. It's a little bit bobbly there as he went to strike the ball.
We had dreams of Bergkamp. And, well, this is interesting. Joe Knowles is coming off. So I wonder if he was struggling. But here is the big moment. Charlie Aston is on for the Brisbane Roar. And so much of their hopes for the coming A-League men's season rest on his shoulders. And they will be hoping that he can fire in the goals. He's had a great career in the English League system, Charlie Aston. And now we get to see what he can do in Orange. They have brought in some great recruits from overseas over the course of their A-League existence, the Brisbane Roar. And we'll be hoping that he can be the next one. As we see a cynical foul here, and it's going to be a yellow card for Jesse Daly, who, safe to say, had already tested the referee's patience earlier in the half.
Clear foul there. We'll just get back to Charlie Aston. It was one problem they had last year, Brisbane Roar. It was putting away their chances. Proven goal scorer in the middle now. And he said the standard at training even has gone up now. They're doing their crossing and finishing. Warren Moon is delighted to see the ball actually going in the back of the net these days.
Well, Austin, still only 33. Played most notably in the Premier League for QPR and Southampton, but also championship stints with West Brom and Burnley. Buendia. And the ball took a little deflection there, led it away from Archer.
Well, in this second half, anything of note that has happened from Aston Villa, Buendia has been at the heart of it. He can get on the ball at any and every occasion, and when he does, he wants to look forward. He wants to unlock a pass through the defence, bring his teammates into play.
It's interesting that we had Coutinho first half, Buendia second, because you imagine the combination between the two will be key to Villa taking points and creating goals and winning games. Only Watkins is the man who primarily they'll be feeding, you suspect, this season, but they've had a half each as the primary playmaker tonight. As we see Matsumura, he misses Austin with the pass here. Tell you who will be excited to see Charlie Aston out there, not just the Brisbane Roar fans and A-League fans in general. She will stay with this attack because here come Villa. The cutback's on and it's missed. And Archer, for all the good work he's done, he left his shooting boots in the dressing room.
Well, they were opened up there, Brisbane Roar, weren't they? Harvey Norman replay will show lovely back heel there. And you see the strength. As that ball comes back, it's probably the best chance Aston Villa have had in the match. Lovely lead-up play. And as he gets his head up, Archer had just drifted around that 6-yard area, and you can see the disappointment in his face. He knows he should have done better there.
Well, now the Raw can look to respond. Henry Hoare. Jay O'Shea jinking around, and he asks for the foul and receives. But I mean, moments like that for someone like Cameron Archer, that could be the difference between sitting on the bench for Villa in the Premier League and another stint out on loan, couldn't it?
Well, it could be, yeah. It's also confidence as well. You want to be scoring in pre-season, putting them away, hit the ground running when that season starts. And as we saw with Manchester United.
Free kick from O'Shea. Oh, and it slipped past Aldred after going over the heads of all and sundry in the box. Tommy Aldred, who would love nothing better to score tonight after the challenge he copped from Luca Dean in the first half. It's not short of a word as the ball goes behind for a corner.
It's a great delivery from O'Shea. And I think you remarked earlier, Teo, about a defender's finish. A striker might have stuck the leg out there.
O'Shea on delivery again. Aston! And he puts it high and out. A quick apology to his teammates, but he got the crowd interested.
Well, that's the kind of service he'll be asking for. Just a little behind him on this one. It was hard to get the leg over it. You can see trying to contort the body. Well, I was just about to say, like, talking about confidence and in the pre-season, Manchester United, there was a lot of conjecture about Rashford and Martial, and they've both scored in consecutive games now. And that confidence breeds. It doesn't matter if it's pre-season. You start to get the feel of the goal and the confidence flows. Mistake from Archer, the chance he had. We'll be thinking about that one tonight.
And now Raw, a little bit like the first half, growing into the game as the half advances. Early cross here is blocked immediately. Raw have made a change in the meantime. Matty Steinman has come on, their German midfielder. They'll be hoping to see so much more of him this season. Just the 17 appearances last campaign. Didn't really get to see his absolute best either. You feel as though if he plays the full season that Raw will be far closer to the top 6 than they were last campaign.
And I think when Steinman comes into that midfield, it allows Jay O'Shea to go forward a little bit more, be in more of that 10 role. He's such a creative player, O'Shea. I think he's a little wasted when he comes deeper. You want him up near those front men so we can play those cute little passes in behind and link up play.
So, Villa, again, it's been a night of toil as they try to find the back of the net. Augustinson, a skimming ball through the area, this time cleared with one touch. Matsumura, first touch nice. Then he had his pocket picked by Kessler Hayden. And a foul is given here for an indiscriminate grab of the shirt by Henry Hoare. Ramsey, now Augustinson. At the byline, he cut it fine. Initial header away, Douglas Luiz, Ollie Watkins, Kessler Hayden, just drifts it into no man's land. And eventually it's hooked away as far as Rugbenham. And now Kessler Hayden. Douglas Luiz. Irugbenham. To Augustinson. Villa stringing passes together in dangerous territory now. Ramsey, Buendia, Douglas Luiz. Archer tried to turn onto the ball. Matsumura is there for the Raw.
Well, they just can't keep the ball, Brisbane, can they? Matsumura there. for the first time, giving the ball away.
Probably should give an update here. Joe Knowles, not injured, just a decision to give him a very short run. Subbed on at half-time and then off relatively soon after that. Here's a chance for Villa. Archer, he's made amends! Cameron Archer makes it 1-0 to Aston Villa. He gets his goal. Maybe the celebrations are a little muted because of the chance he missed earlier, but it does break the deadlock here with just under 15 minutes to go.
Well, the pressure was mounting. Brisbane Roar couldn't keep hold of the ball and kept giving it back. And it was nice little interplay, and as the ball goes out to the right-hand side, you see plenty of space. Early ball in, and Archer finds himself around that penalty spot with plenty of time. Gets the touch and slots it away in the bottom corner. And he might not be thinking too much about that missed opportunity now. Got himself on the scorecard.
And the Villa fans chanting he's one of our own. Cameron Archer, England under-21 international, only 20 years old. And as we mentioned when he got subbed on, 7 in 20 for Preston North End in the championship last season. So we know he can score a goal. And now Aston Villa will be feeling a bit better about their night's work, I suspect, that one of their young talents has been able to find the back of the net. Now, just on that Joe Knowles side, I wonder, is he going to be on a flight to Brisbane and then to Sydney tomorrow to play in the Australia Cup for Oakley against Bonnyrigg White Eagles? And maybe that's why he only had the shortest of spells out there on the field. Maybe the call came in from Oakley and said, take him off. We need him tomorrow. Wouldn't put it past Oakley to do that.
I still think it's a strange one to put someone on and take them off 20 minutes later.
Matsumura. Aldred. Just how much of a risk will Warren Moon be prepared to take here as Raw chase an equaliser? They don't want to leave the Townsville fans empty-handed either. They'd love to score themselves. Henry Hoare, now Charlie Austin. Raw in advanced territory. O'Shea. Now Neville. All the way back to Macklin Freak. Not much he could do about the goal. He would have treasured a clean sheet tonight. And the defensive header from Augustinson. Well, it nearly fell for Charlie Austin, but perhaps he heard the lumbering strides of Tyrone Mings coming and let him slide through. Sub coming up here for Aston Villa. This is Ben Crazine, 18 years old, England under-17 international. And again, they're going to sub the sub. So Ludwig Augustinson, hey, maybe he signed for the Oakley Cannons. And so he is coming off. And young Crazine, who signed from Exeter City in 2020, but hasn't made his first team debut yet. He was an unused sub for one game last season for Aston Villa. And so he gets a little taste of being out there with the senior teammates once again. Attempted through ball is beyond the run there of Kai Truan. 10 minutes to go, Macca. Have any of the Brisbane players really significantly boosted their stocks in your eyes tonight, or is it a bit hard to tell given how little possession they've had and really how much hands on the pump defending they've had to do?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's good minutes in the legs for them. The Tom Aldred as well. He needs to get some good game time, a consistent consecutive run of games as well. Missed a lot of time last year. I think they'll be taking more of the physical aspect out of this. As we said earlier, the style of play is going to be obviously a little bit different when you're playing against superior opposition. Probably not going to play the same way as you would in the A-League.
What colour is Tom Aldred's ankle going to be when he wakes up tomorrow morning?
It's going to be black and purple and blue, isn't it? It did look a nasty one.
If you've only just joined us, he got a late challenge from Luca Dean in the first half, which was a yellow card, but it opened him up on the top of his ankle. It was really nasty. credit to the Royal Medical staff for doing the running repairs, and it looks like he's going to play out the 90 here, but it's going to be awful tomorrow. Here you go, Villa again. Archer's got one, and this time a deflection sends the ball behind for a corner.
Well, he's been lively as well, Archer, in this second half. Got himself a goal. He's always looking to make those runs in the box as well. Had that other opportunity that he put wide, which he should have done better with, but always a willing runner.
The two centre-backs standing within arm's length of each other as the ball is hung in. Conser goes up. He had the free header. Not able to do anything with it. Steinman. Mings. Aerial duel. Truan. Nothing as far as Rugbenham. Here he is again, playing the ball now to Archer, who opens the body. Maybe a little unselfish there.
Well, I think the pass had to go earlier. It was a great run on the inside. Jacob Ramsey, I think it was. Just dwelled on the ball just a little too much.
Matsumura. It's bowled over, but Raw will want the advantage here. Henry Hoare. And Truan coming from deep, and Tyrone Mings not happy with his midfield there for the protection he got in that situation. Oh, actually, no, I've sold his midfield short. Maybe he wasn't happy with Kurt Adams. Anyway, he had a verbal barb for someone. Play continues. O'Shea just yields possession to the centre of defence. Buendia. Oh, nice little touch against the line. Not just to stop it going out, but to find a teammate. Kessler Hayden, not so nice. And he's been caught in possession. Matsumura. A roar on here. He wants a man on the overlap. Steinman finally arrives. O'Shea. Truan. Auckland freak drawn out of his line. Straight onto the head of Tyrone Mings. He's such a commanding presence out there. Real field general for Villa. And now Archer. He's a lone hand here. Watkins is making a run. Archer wants to DIY. And he blazes over, turning onto his left.
Well, I think Scott Neville might be a little bit dizzy after that run. As Archer picked up the ball, he had him backpedaling, twists one way, then the other, then comes back onto his left again. A little wayward with the strike. You see here, as soon as Scott Neville was squared up, he was in danger of getting beaten. Some lovely feet from Archer. Just didn't quite have the finish again.
You're right, on a night where so many players have gone slip sliding, he had some really sharp changes of direction there. He was able to plan the turf and show his agility. Just lacked the finishing touch. Ben Grazine here takes the throw. Somewhat headed down by Mlinaric, but now the man he was marking, Watkins, is going to try and return it with interest. Douglas Luiz, the cutback. He misses Watkins though. Steinman's at the edge of the box.
That was the right idea, the cutback. All the defenders were running into the 6-yard box. Strikers had drawn them in.
Matsumura. Charlie Austin's calling for the ball. The pass came eventually. Now O'Shea. Henry Hoare. Looping ball out to the left. Jesse Daly. He's going to support them. Lenaric sends a cross in. It's over the head of Charlie Austin. In an A-League season, Raw fans will be hoping those drop right on the head of Charlie Austin. Awkward ball, but the touch there is going to go down to the keeper, so no harm done. Final minutes then. Raw trying to keep the tempo high. They'd love to leave with an equaliser and a draw here. It's not where Aston Villa have had their chances to make the dying stages a moot point, but the game remains very much alive at this late stage of the night. Henry Hoare in a 1-on-2, and Mings closes him down. Brisbane, an awkward pass. Mings made it work. Hits the touchline. Steinman. Great vision to see the pass. Lenaric not able to do anything with it once he received the ball, though. Douglas Luiz. Just drifting now. Actually uses the man on the right. And across to no one in particular, Buendia. And Villa won't mind this. Raw don't have the ball and lay in wait. Can they launch for one last counter? Ramsey to Buendia. Crazine. Buendia. And he's knocked over by the backtracking Charlie Austin.
Well, he did well then, Buendia. Realised Austin was coming in quick from behind. Felt the contact and went down.
It's going to be the sub again as Jesse Daly comes off and Cyrus Demi comes on. Didn't score an A-League men's goal last season, but was able to score in the Cup. First piece of business is to help out defending this free kick. The young striker, though, gets 1 minute plus stoppage time. Let's see if he can make a surprise impact. Here comes the free kick, and the referee's whistle has sounded immediately, and Kurt Ams is taking a moment to tell everyone who's boss. Apparently, he hadn't given the okay for it to be swung in yet. So, after much anticipation, at last, the free kick. Douglas Luiz, and solidly headed away. Demi protecting the drop of the ball. Bouncing out to the left. Neat little back heel from Douglas Luiz. Crazine, and his attempted across is blocked away by O'Shea. We've ticked into 3 additional minutes to end the night here. Plenty of ground conceded. Ezri Konsa. Out to Kane Kessler-Hayden. Buendia. Now Archer, the goal scorer. Konsa. Kessler-Hayden. De Villa have one more attack in them. Can they leave with the second goal? One for the road, maybe. Douglas Luiz. To Rugbinham. Now Crazine. Headed away. Charlie Aston back helping out the defence. That's a very difficult ball to control for Samura there. Immediately bowling him over. I'm not sure we'll hear the happiest Stephen Gerrard post-game, but be interested on his thoughts on what he's seen. Oh, almost a slip from Tyrone Mings.
Well, that sums up the evening, really, doesn't it? The players have struggled with the footing, slippery surface. Hasn't been the most electrifying game. It's been more a tactical battle.
Kessler Hayden. Now Ramsey making a run. Wheels away from the penalty area. Buendia. Ramsey. It looks as though it was last touch off the Villa man. Or was it? Looks like they're setting up for a defensive corner here. Which is taken quickly. And look at all the orange shirts that were packing the 6-yard box. They formed a wall there. And eventually it was just driven in for power by Douglas Luiz. And they get another corner kick. This might be the last act of the night.
Well, they were all in the box, weren't they? But no one wanted to go to the ball.
Short corner again. At the edge of the 6-yard box, it sits up. Mings is there and blocked Ollie Watkins. And that'll take us to the end of stoppage time. How determined are Villa for one last attack? Perhaps as stoppage time expires. All over in Townsville then, and it's Aston Villa who take a 1-0 win. It's their young striker, Cameron Archer, just 20 years old, England under-21 international. And Stephen Gerrard would have known his quality having sent him out on loan to the Championship. He scores the only goal tonight. We got to see Charlie Aston. He didn't really have a great chance to score, just the one volley over the target. And ultimately, a night where that man, Emiliano Buendia, gave us some nice highlights. It's Aston Villa who have prevailed. Handshakes at full time, and it ends in Townsville. Aston Villa 1, Brisbane Roar 0.